You know, this whole season is about the ramp up to World War I, and this is a great snapshot. It's exactly what I had in mind when I was imagining what it would be like to be in this world that was so changing and so turbulently in flux. Obviously, La Valse is one of the most iconic pieces. Ravel wrote this music after the war, but it could not have been written without the experience of the explosion that was the beginning of the 20th century. It is the classic Viennese waltz turned on its head, and it shows how the world was absolutely blown up and turned upside down. It's a waltz deconstructed with all of the savagery and the uncertainty and the violent change that happened at the beginning of this century. The parallel side to that is, of course, the Strauss Salome dances, because Strauss came out of this great romantic tradition from the 19th century, and he was already moving towards being more and more a theater man. He became the opera composer of the early 20th century. And this piece was radical, not only because of its subject matter, which was violent and upsetting, and just the sheer imagery. I mean, when on stage people saw the severed head on a platter, that was really a shock. But the music itself is so incredibly new, and it harbors all of this, again, all of this uncertainty and this change. All of that was reflected in the arts, and specifically in music, and we hear that in the Salome music. And it's an incredible juxtaposition to put, I think, the Strauss and the Ravel on the same program. And then, of course, we have Sibelius, which is, it stands apart from that language, but he too was a product of his time and was trying to express in a completely new way the language of that moment. And I just thought those three pieces together were a fascinating instant snapshot of this incredibly heady time. The Bernstein, of course, written decades later, has nothing to do specifically with that, but it's a piece that I love, and it's being played by a brilliant soloist, Philippe Quint, making his long overdue debut with us. And I just think it's a sensational combination of music.